Hello and welcome to the Wrong Road podcast. I am George, and today we have four of us here. We have Aaron,
Hello.
we have Harley,
Hello.
and we have our newest guest, Tom.
Newest guest.
Our newest
Yes,
host.
you might as well live here now.
Newest host.
Live it.
Newest host.
Well, the
forgot the
rent's
word.
very cheap.
Yeah. We charge him £200 a month to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
He actually pays us £300 very, very kindly. He's just so desperate to be on the podcast.
Yes.
Well, and the exchange rate's just really favourable at the minute, so I thought,
Yeah,
Yeah.
He bought shares in the Wrong Road as well. Actually, yeah.
Understandable.
Tom's actually like a 60% shareholder.
Are we opening that up to the veg? Because there's not many left. I am trying to buy us out.
We have many topics in store for today.
Yeah.
As usual, mainline heritage, model railway. We have more model railway than there is usually, because
There
Hornby
is
has
a
been
lot
up to
of-
their usual shenanigans.
There's a lot of model rail stuff.
I
Do you want to start with that, or
We can start with the model railway stuff. We can start with Hornby's shenanigans.
go for it? I mean,
Such as Hornby. Well, we can start with the biggest thing, which kind of everything else spins off of, which is Hornby announcing their TT scale range, which happened like in the last week, didn't it?
not that long ago.
When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, of course they've jumped on that bandwagon." But at the same time, it was a surprise because it's like the first time Hornby's done a gauge that's not double O gauge for decades,
Yeah.
and I think they've made
Oh.
one N gauge thing, and
Yeah,
they
they made
used to do the tin
they made the-
can O gauge stuff.
They made the 5 bell, the Pullman EMU.
Yeah, I don't know
Technically
why
that
they
was
made
Hornby,
that.
but it was under Arnold. But it's technically Hornby. So
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but
I think they wanted to try engage,
Sure.
and they didn't want to call it Hornby. I think.
But they have been not afraid to call this TT range Hornby, and they've announced a lot of stuff. Conveniently, nothing Western or Southern, all Eastern.
Oh, great.
US.
Yeah.
There's Western in the next phase. They're going to do a
yeah,
castle
there's
and then
Western
I don't know if
in
they're
the
doing
next
anything southern.
phase.
Just got to wait for the next phase. Wait
Just
till
wait
that
for the.
one.
Just wait.
Why,
for the
But
why
when's
are you
southern?
moaning? Why are you moaning that there's nothing for the Great Western Americans? Surely you should be celebrating that.
Yeah.
but
Where's the
then-
southern
then-
stuff? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, but then they've announced they're doing Great Western stuff and nothing Southern. So,
Well, they can get in the bin then, can't they?
and the
to be
Great
honest?
Western stuff they are doing is a castle and a crummy 9F, which will be their crummy 9F they made in double O gauge scaled down.
Oh yeah, I saw
Ah.
one of these 9S when I was at a popular model shop yesterday, and I think it looks a little bit too short. Weird opinion, but in the glass cabinet there, it looked
Okay.
a bit shorter than the Bachmann one. I don't know what you guys think,
We're
but
gonna
when I
have to-
saw these things start there, I thought that doesn't look right.
You're gonna have to put them next to each other and find out.
Right. 9F measuring contest. Come on. Get 'em out.
9F.
Get your 9Fs out.
Who's measuring?
But yeah, the thing that I wanted to spin off of the Hornby TT thing, which is Hornby's usual la dickhead ways of doing things.
Oh, a bit of French.
We're not getting a sponsorship from them already. It's fine. Is the fact that Helgen had already announced they were doing a TT range, not a very big one, but they had a couple of things that lined up that they hadn't actually started producing yet because it was early stages, and obviously they didn't anticipate the Hornby would swoop out of nowhere and steal their thunder. Should have thought better. I guess they thought they thought they were safe because it was not double O gauge. So like, Hornby won't intervene, but they did.
Surely not.
Because the gen is that Simon's been working on it since 2017, apparently, but that's a very Simon thing to say.
Simon's been working on it since 2017, of course he has. When did Pico decide to start making the track again?
Oh god, it was way back in June we decided to make it. I think
June this year.
June this year. Yeah, it was around the time of all the Jubilee celebrations that we decided to make it. I'm pretty sure.
There's no fucking way that Hornby have been going, oh yeah, we're doing TT gauge since 2017. No, they weren't.
Well, the thing is,
Nobody asked for that.
Nobody asked.
So for those of our viewers that don't know, and I didn't want to reveal this, but I do actually work for Pico Model Railways. And
Oh no!
back
don't
when
reveal
this
that.
whole
If you have any questions about Pico Model Railways, email longwaypodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, and we'll answer every question about your order, if your order's gone missing, or
We'll even do a whole episode surrounded around Pico and Tom. We'll just sit.
Oh, for
Pico,
God's
we'll
sake.
just sit Tom with the emails on his own, and he can answer any questions.
Would that be in a sealed room in one of those costumes with no sleeves?
Yes.
Good grief. Right, anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up, because I didn't want to mention this, but basically, when we announced it, there was loads of rumours saying that we reckon Hornby's been working on the TT range for a long time. Now, obviously, I don't know if anyone that I work with that's higher up is very close to Hornby, but they obviously must have sources of people who are. I mean, hell, I even know people who are close to Hornby or were close to Hornby. But that was what the thought was at the time, 6 months ago, and I didn't believe it. I was like, I don't think Hornby would just jump into another scale, but they have. So some people did sort of know about it or suspect it, but that was all that I knew, and I kind of didn't say anything to anyone because I didn't think it was true myself.
My question is, why? They can't get their 00 stuff right half the time. Why try something else that's bound to get it wrong as well?
I love how they won't.
All of the
They won't.
TT stuff is just the 00 stuff scaled to be smaller, so it's going to be bad.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Because it's like they can't retool Lima stuff, but they can downsize it.
Just get on Lima
Hey, we can make
tooling,
it smaller.
shrink it down.
You can't see how bad the tooling is when we make it smaller.
They'll release the end gauge next.
Yeah.
I don't really. So basically, I didn't really get to finish, but the kind of tangented off. But Heldren have basically been forced to stop their entire range because, as usual, Hornby has swooped in and gone, "Oh yeah, we've got this entire massive range, including stuff that Heldren we're going to make, and we're going to release it before them." So
yeah, bit of a dick move.
So it's a usual dick move from Hornby. Heldren stuff was probably going to be better, but I can understand why they can't be fucked.
I mean, Helgen stuff isn't always perfect. They do get the shape wrong on some things, occasionally.
Helgen's, they were going to do a class 31, and I can imagine that was probably going to be decent.
Like, I've got a Helgen 33, but they had to do it again to get the shape right. The first ones they did were not perfect.
I also love how all of the
33 if they did one.
All of the laser cut buildings we're doing for TT at GWR, and there's nothing GWR coming out. I love that.
Yeah,
but they're only releasing technically one GWR thing, the castle, because 9F's not GWR. That's BR Western region.
Well,
and that's not even BR Western region. The 9F's crept their way all over the place.
Well, Evening Star was a Western one. It's based at Cardiff for quite a while.
Well, yeah, but I bet you they're going to do other 9Fs too.
Yeah, they're doing the Midlands one as well, I think, aren't they?
My lords.
Nice.
Just pretty epic.
I don't really understand where these, even from a strategic point of view as like a business, I don't understand why this is beneficial to them, because like me as someone who already collects 00, and I know I already do multi-gauge because I have own stuff as well, but there are people who do multi-gauge, but they're relying on people who see it and go, oh yeah, I'll do that in addition to the gauge I'm already doing, which most people probably won't. And
especially at the moment, brave time to announce a new thing.
People aren't willing to buy and branch out. Like, the only customers they're properly going to get are people who don't do it already. So they're starting fresh. So they might go, oh, that's a good idea. But then 00's got so much more variety. TT's got what Hornby's producing and nothing else.
Yep.
The funny thing is the only people who probably do TT at the minute are a few like Ooga Booga societies that make everything themselves.
Yeah.
But they're probably so anal that they don't like anything that Hornby's done and it's all wrong, and they'd rather build it themselves anyway. So they won't even get any traffic from them.
Well, if they've been happy to build it themselves up to now, they're not going to suddenly just be like, oh, well, Hornby's made a Flying Scotsman in TT gauge. My lords, I'll take 7.
Exactly.
It's like- and
Yeah, exactly.
so that's not going to happen. And so it's either going to be people who currently don't do model railways and starting fresh, but they probably won't because Double-O's got more range, or the most likely one is it's going to be mums buying it for their 10-year-old kids as their first train set.
Oh yeah.
That's
I can
probably going to be
associate
majority of the
because-
business.
Because Hornby is such a because I obviously volunteer on a publicly run layout every week, and the question you get every week is, oh, is it all Hornby? Because Hornby's like the biggest model rail brand that everyone knows, and because it's they've only done one scale for such a long time. How many kids do you reckon are going to ask for a Flying Scotsman for Christmas in Double O and get bought a TT one by accident?
Probably a lot.
Imagine the disappointment.
Or something that's not written on our notes, but is topical now that I've just remembered. Or they could get the really cheap £363 Centenary Edition Flying Scotsman. Or they get one of each of them. That's even better. They're doing every Flying Scotsman condition ever. They're doing BR, LNER, and as an A1 and as an A1 in American condition. Just buy all of them. Nice cheap, £1,200 for the full range. And
Oh, not bad at all.
Mr. Simon Kohler sits back in his chair laughing, and everyone moves on with their life. Yeah, that's right, Simon. I just called you out.
He's sitting forward now. That's for sure.
You want to cry about it, maybe?
Are we going to go and talk to him when we go to Warden, John?
Oh yeah, we'll interview him on behalf of the Wrong Road podcast. We're here with Simon Kohler from Hornby.
We should then ask people if anyone sees us, come and talk to us, and we'll have our own booth at Warden. That'd be great.
Oh yeah.
We'll have one of those, they have the big white square boxes in the middle, which are always really depressing. You get there's just one guy sat in it with some leaflets or something.
Yeah, exactly. We'll liven it up.
We need to put some
Model was there again. When he was there in 2019, he was doing scans of people so you could get a double-O figure of yourself. We should definitely do that. Get the whole Wrong Road crew, and then put that as our picture. That would be epic.
My question is, we're doing that, but when are we also going to start our own model railway brand? And then our whole market goal will be to copy everything Hornby does and do it faster than them.
Yeah. Try get the insider information and release everything first.
What about Glegways?
Glegways. That's the plan now. We'll make our own model railway company. Our entire business model will be to copy everything Hornby does and do it faster.
Sounds like a plan. Honestly.
That sounds like a good business case.
Well, Hornby seems to think it's a good business case, so it's working out for them.
Now we just need to buy a dingy factory in a nasty seaside town. I already work in one.
We're going to open a factory in Lyme Regis, right on the seafront. So when it's the summer season, you can't get anything in or out, and you just have to sit there and suffer.
And then can we reopen the Lyme Regis branch to do all of the shipping?
Exactly.
That is a great idea.
It'd be like Amazon, because they said they're going to build a new factory in Somerset somewhere, and they're going to build a rail link, and they're going to pay for it.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
Well, so we'll be able to shed veg even more.
So we've gone off a major tangent. We've got a lot of model railway stuff to talk about.
Yes.
I want to get out of the way. But the next thing is we're going to discuss is something else that's just wacky, which is completely expected. I mean, Hornby was partially expected because it's no. Hornby's not expected, but it's not surprising when they do something like that. Meanwhile, this is entirely expected, and that is KR Models releasing yet another completely useless model that only hardcore collectors and other, people who have no idea what they're doing buy.
Licky Bank modelers.
Licky Bank modelers.
Bank modelers.
Licky Bank, I'm sure.
Licky Bank modelers, specifically LMS Licky Bank modelers, because if they're doing BR, they're probably using a 9F already. Or four 94XXs.
And if you're doing modern day, you're doing
Class
two
66s.
And classic C6s, but yeah.
So KL Models has announced a model of Big Bertha.
My
or-
lord.
I mean,
that
is
is
Hellfire.
I would actually buy that. Even
The
though
li-
it's completely out of my era, I would buy it.
Yeah, but it's so.
Oh, I didn't see that as a Harley model. That would be a good addition to the collection.
Yeah, but it's so
Oh,
useless.
I love Big Bertha. It's great. I just
It-
love how it looks.
It can't pull anything because it never pulled trains. It only ever pushed things up the Licking Incline, and its max speed is unknown. But I'm fairly certain it couldn't break 15 miles an hour. But I guarantee the model's going to do Mark 5 when you whack up the controller. And that's going to make it look
Whack out
even more
my,
cursed. It's going to
gonna
be Big
whack out
Bertha
my,
at speed.
I'm gonna whack out my Backman train set controller and whack it right up on Big Bertha and smash it.
It just goes wah, bang and blows up.
I hope Lucy knows of your affection for Bertha, Harley.
Well, when we went to the NRM, they have like a big model of it. I don't know what scale it is, but I took a picture of it and I was like, "Oh, Big Bertha! I love Big Bertha." It's just I had to explain Big Bertha to Sam the other day, and I went, "Just think of like 1501 and a 7F had a child."
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Well,
pretty
half the
accurate.
bits of Big Bertha are on 53808. Like those are the rods and bits and bobs.
Yep.
Are on 88 somehow. I don't know how they ended up getting there because Big Bertha was scrapped in like 57. But yeah,
But yeah, but only one of them existed. Yeah, only one existed. It was built for the sole purpose of pushing things up the Licking Incline, and it was really slow. That was
George, are they
Let's
going
make a
to
model of
rush
it.
the camp
Perfect.
drawings and make it really inaccurate again, like all their other stuff?
but their stuff keeps getting worse in terms of uselessness because I thought that like,
and quality.
they announced like the GT3 and the Bullied Leader and the Fell, which they basically announced all at the same time, didn't they? And the GT3 came out, and that's like, okay, meh. It's still an experimental loco, but I mean, at least it appeared in many places probably. And the Fell, again, an experimental loco, probably could be seen in places, but we're starting to get a bit sus now because the Fell was just a bit ooga booga. The Leader, I kind of understand that. I understand the hype with that. I get it. The Leader's quite popular, I think, so maybe that's probably the best
Is
decision
it?
they've. Well, yeah, because everyone knows what it is.
That's true. But I don't know if they want to collect it.
People who model the Southern probably would collect it.
Maybe.
But yeah, I reckon that's probably the best one, even still sus, but I think that's the best one they've probably came up with by making. And then this is probably the most sus one yet, Big Bertha, because it can only be modelled in one location.
I mean,
And there was only one of them.
but it's just cool.
Niche.
Like it's just cool to have. Like I
That is
just
pretty
got
cool.
£43,300 of tractive effort. Nothing needs that much tractive effort. Ever.
But do you still want it if I tell you it costs over £200?
Yes.
Well, there we go then. Sold.
Like,
First customer.
I model Modern Image, and I'm going to stick it on a Rake and Mark ones.
Oh yeah.
I think all we've managed to establish here is that Harley has a long-standing love affection for Bertha, and he's the one-time only customer of KL models for that reason.
Look,
I mean, if anything, I should have the affection because apparently it was also known as Big Emma.
yeah.
Sorry. Well,
Look, I'm gonna buy
My
it.
girlfriend's called
I'm
Emma.
gonna
For those who are,
I'm gonna put overhead warning stickers on it, modern day ones, and I'm gonna give it a support coach, and I'm gonna write on the side, Big Bertha support coach, and I'm gonna run
yeah.
it.
When are we doing a new build, Big Bertha, to run the main line?
You can put a nice big nasty air compressor on the front, Harley.
Yeah.
Can we convert?
Behind it.
Can we convert 53809 into a new build Big Bertha?
Well, I mean, it's pretty shagged anyway, so you might as well.
Yeah, but 53809 is the least problematic 7F we've got in preservation, so I feel like we kind of have to keep it.
All right.
Well, when we
we'll
had
do
it,
got
it ran
many.
on one
we'll do it to
cylinder.
88 then, because that's already got parts of Big Bertha on it anyway, so we're a head start.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
That's a
there you
good
go.
point. I'm sure the S&D Trust would love that. They'd probably be
Yeah,
like, "Oh yeah,
they
Big Bertha,
probably-
ran
yeah,
on this
probably-
They'll be
cylinder."
down for
They've already thought of it. They're doing it. I mean,
Yeah. It's in progress.
yeah,
Good
that's
actually.
what's
Big
happening. When it
Bertha
goes
probably
out,
would have
that's what's happening when 538 goes out for Overhaul.
All right, that makes
The
sense.
plan is it comes back out as Big Bertha.
Yeah,
The
that's
thing
why
is-
it's gonna take so long.
It'd be a great idea to put it on tours, but I think they have to put it on the back. Just shove it, shove the train.
And then the tour
we-
will
can
go at
we-
15 miles an hour the whole way.
Yeah.
Can we have a new build Big Bertha, and it's got to be based on the Midlands Railway for pushing trains out of Alton? That's all it's there for. It doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Great idea. Why not?
No, we
Hey, it'd be perfect for
at least
if,
give it to the Bobbin
if
and
you're going
Wentworth for
main
their
line.
one in 37 or whatever.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. If you're going main line, then it'd be perfect for branch line society tours because like half the lines they go on, you can then do like 5 miles an hour anyway. They're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to go through the wash plans.
The branch line society is the lines they usually go down are usually quite tight, and I feel like Big Bertha would probably straighten all of them out in the.
I think all heritage railways with a bank steeper than 1 in 100 need their own Big Bertha. Can we get that approved by the Conservative Party? That has to be funded by the government. That all heritage railways with an incline steeper than 1 in 100 need a Big Bertha. New build.
Why don't we start a change.org saying, yo, Mr.
Or
Grant,
just
Grant shouts, G-Dog, we need Big Bertha.
yeah, just go straight to the government website's petition page and put one on there.
Tom, I
Say
went to
that-
talk to Grant
Okay.
Shapps, he got sacked.
Yeah, I
Oh,
went
did he?
to talk to him. Yeah,
I can't even keep up with.
he's big.
I don't know who the new transport minister is, but probably someone who's much better than Grant Shapps.
Someone random.
I'm
No, I can't
I'm
imagine
actually
they
really
are.
surprised.
I'm not going to get. I'm not going to get political, but I can't imagine they're any better. No.
Oh yeah, that's not part of the Conservative Party.
We'll leave it there. And then I've got 2 small notes. Those are the big model railway things I kind of want to talk about. And then 2 small notes. One of them irrelevant, really. It's just funny. On Akira Scale making a meme about Hornby on their Facebook page. Big up Akira
yeah, that's
Scale.
good.
You've just secured your position as my favourite model railway manufacturer. In all honesty, if any model railway company wants to sponsor us, Akira Scale, be my guest. I'll talk.
Yes,
I'll talk.
please.
I'll talk good about you any day of the week, whether you pay me or not. So you might,
I still need to buy something from Akira Scale. I've not bought anything from them yet. I wanted to buy either a 31 or what was the other, a 37, but like everyone at the moment, I'm poor. So
I think I've got the most on order from Akira Scale out of everyone. I've got 2 Manas, 3 Suburban coaches, and 6 banana vans. But obviously, none of it's come out yet. But I knew it would be good.
The banana vans.
I've got the Manor, a 37 and a 31.
Nice.
I've got nothing.
Oh, you ordered a I didn't know you ordered a 31.
I did, yeah.
Which one?
One of the preserved ones. So
What, the
it's-
mainline
nice.
Yeah, the mainline
probably
one.
31128 probably. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the mainline one, which has got a name on it.
And didn't you get
I'm
37423? Was it that one you got?
City of the Spirit of the Lakes.
Yeah, the one with the modified front end, the DRS one.
Oh, you got the
Is
one
it-
with the
is it-
manky headlights.
It's a DRS one, yeah.
Don't
It's
call them
'cause it-
manky,
it's
Tom.
'cause it,
They're
like,
just modern,
naturally.
okay?
They're just different.
They're just
Well, that
different.
3743 is currently stored at Crew Heritage Centre. If you want to go see it, George. So
My boss has
Apparently,
just
they
randomly
start it up
emailed-
every week.
My
Oh.
boss has just randomly emailed me a GitHub link, like no context, literally just
what kind of hub?
a GitHub link. Just
I know.
no words, just no, not even hi George, no sign off at the end, just a link. It's quite ominous, really.
I won't open it, George.
Is that the headmaster or head of IT?
No head of IT.
Yeah, that sounds like him to be
He's-
fair. We know what
he's
he's like.
It's something weird to do with Max.
Well-
I have a feeling he sent it to me by accident because he sent it to himself.
Shall we get back on topic?
Yeah. It's just funny.
Are we reading work emails now? instead?
Randomly at 9 p.m. He's just randomly sent me a link.
Don't expose when we record this. George.
9 p.m. on a Sunday.
Hey, what if this Max guy is listening to the podcast and he's like, shit, I'm in trouble.
So yeah, Akira Scale. I'm gonna plug you right now, guys. Buy stuff from Akira Scale because they're just epic. Their stuff is high quality. They put things in massive boxes. And
I've actually got another reason for you to order. If you go on their website, you get a shout out every time you buy
Yeah,
something.
you get a shout out.
It pops up at the bottom and it says, Tom from Taunton has ordered some banana vans. And it's just the funniest thing.
As I said, my only issue with B is like, what have you told your other half that you're not going to order anything from your Curious Gal, and she knows.
She's just looking at the website.
Yeah, she's just looking at the website, waiting for Harley has ordered 537s.
I'd be dead. I wouldn't last.
Harley has ordered 5 Big Berthas with sound.
What does Big Bertha sound like, actually? Just to go back onto Big Bertha.
There are some videos on YouTube of it. There's some rare footage of it.
It was like 4-cylinder, wasn't it?
It was
Hellfire.
Yeah, it was 4 cylinders.
It has to be Hellfire, surely.
I don't know whether it wasn't that flashy, but it was flashy. But like, it was
wasn't
built.
Flashy, but it was flashy.
It was built to be powerful, so like it wasn't really under load when it was pushing stuff up the hill because
probably a bit like a Dutch S. It doesn't actually sound like it's working harder than it was.
Yeah, like it's pushing stuff up a hill, yeah, but it was built for that, so it's doing it with ease, relative ease.
It was never stressed. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, it was probably. I mean, it went 820,000 miles just going up and down the same hill. So I mean, that's pretty decent, I would say. I've now just lost the sheet altogether, so I think that's it for model railway stuff. Some of them's going to have to like take over until. What am I done with it? Where's it gone?
We want to talk about the probably the big recent heritage/mainline news, which is the return of Flying Scotsman. Unfortunately.
Oh, Flying Scotsman!
Yes,
I love Flying Scotsman.
We all do here.
I gave the best of my years to Flying Scotsman, and I feel like she gave the best of her years back to me.
Who said that?
Oh, some guy on a video that Hornby posted.
That was the worst fan video I've ever seen. The amount of standing in that video.
It's in our Scotsman Stands channel that I'm going to expose in the podcast that we have. I posted the link.
Have we explained the Scotsman Stan joke to the podcasters?
Well, it's just anybody who stands over Flying Scotsman gets put in the Flying Scotsman Stands group, channel rather. Simple as that. So if we catch you lacking with Flying Scotsman, I'm afraid you're going in that channel. And
whether it's a selfie, whether it's a video praising it, anything really.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll have to make a Wrong Road Reddit thread with a Scotsman Stands subreddit.
Oh, we should. Why would the subreddit be Scotsman Stands? Surely the subreddit would be our podcast.
Make a YouTube video. Maybe.
Well, I guess you could add a hashtag Scotsman Stands.
Yeah, exactly. That would actually be great. We should do that.
we could make a subreddit. I don't know whether that would. But yeah.
But yeah, Flying Scotsman returns.
Back. I don't really want to say anything about it because it's Flying Scotsman. It's spit.
Can we just note it went out of service in April this year? Took about 5 months.
Had an overhaul.
Yeah, apparently it had an overhaul. 5 months, and it's back running again. And went straight from testing on the East Lancs to going on the main line to King's Cross. So
one thing I don't understand about this whole Scotsman being at King's Cross thing, right, is where is that money going to? Because I'm pretty sure the NRM aren't allowed to charge an entrance fee, are they? So it must be someone else running the event.
Well, I mean, it's charging £7 for 10 minutes on the platform at King's Cross.
Yeah, you have to pay money just to be in its presence. This is a new low.
£7 for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Good
that's probably a matter
of
time to walk to it.
What happens if your 10 minutes is up? Does some massive security guard just come and pick little
Tim up? Right, 10 minutes is up. Get off the platform.
You get escorted by the You get escorted by the NRM private military.
They're all set up with snipers. Actually,
yeah,
watching.
If you go 1 second past your 10 minutes just on the platform, you're sniped.
Yeah. What's funny as well was at one point there was a service train that pulled up like literally right behind Scotsman's support coach, and I guess anyone that was going on that was just walk straight by.
Yeah, they got
a nice
free.
look.
They got free Flying Scotsman for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Just waiting for their train.
£7.
No.
£7 for 10 minutes. That's very close to be £1 a minute.
Scarily close.
Just to be in its vicinity.
It's bad.
Yeah, with about 1 million other people probably, so you can't get any good photos. I bet.
Flying money pit. Honestly.
But yeah, also Dovetail Games, who make Train Simulator, decided to have a little stand there where they're letting you drive Flying Scotsman in Train Simulator. But it's
they're showcasing the Flying Scotsman Heritage Collection, which is totally not some old 10-year-old DLC that they're just reusing it.
It's literally, it is a crazily old DLC. The model's really old. It's in Train Simulator Classic, not Train Sim World. Yeah.
Root Train old as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's very old.
So are you telling me that Dovetail have done a Hornby?
Yeah, pretty much. And Hornby was there as well, so they can make good friends.
Do you think this was like some kind of weird agreement between them? Like some kind of Hornby giving them advice? Be like, I have a really good business proposition for you. Regurgitate some 10-year-old shit and sell it for a marked up price, and you'll do brilliant.
Well, no, because
exactly.
Dovetail wouldn't need that, push to do that. They would just do that anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, they are like the Hornby with the Lima toolings of Train Sim, aren't they? Really?
Pretty much.
The Hornby of the digital world. Oh my God.
They've now announced Scotsman's schedule for the year, I think, and it's straight away to Swanage.
So now I know where to avoid.
Yeah, exactly where to avoid. Going straight to Swanage on Tuesday, so then it'll be Swanage's event.
I think, to be honest, that Swanage is a bit close to home for my liking.
Yeah, it's getting a bit close, to be fair.
I kind of think that, Tom, I think we should back away from it. I think we should go somewhere else for the week.
Well, what am I going to do when it does the flipping Dutchy in April next year? It's going to go right through my blooming hometown. I'm going to have to go on holiday for that.
Yeah, you're probably going to
go on holiday. Yeah,
you might have to go to the Midlands to get away from it.
Yeah, probably best.
Yeah, that's probably far enough away then.
Yeah. So yeah, they said it's.
So if you absolutely love Flying Scotsman and you are a Scotsman stan and you absolutely hate our guts for chatting shit about it, email rollroadpodcast@gmail.com and tell us how angry you are. And I'm sure we will read it out and care a lot.
Hey, we're going to hear from a lot of granddads who've driven it.
Yeah, all the granddads will be. Hey, can you send an email, please, son, for the Wrong Road podcast?
Can you tell them that I spent the best parts of my years firing that beautiful loco?
Yes.
It was the same as all the other A3s, but, it has Flying Scotsman on the side of it, so it's special.
Exactly.
Did you know it's actually named after the train it pulled? Not many people know that,
Oh my God.
So yeah, Scotsman is back, and
sadly,
yeah, unfortunately, another 7 years, I suppose.
Oh man, well, I'll come back. I can't wait for my next 5-month break in 7 years' time.
Exactly.
I was hoping I was going to get a longer break from it than this, to be honest. It's kind of upset.
Yeah, yeah. Not much we can do now.
Nice job, NRM. Wife's crying. All right,
who wants to take the next thing?
I guess we've moved on to modern stuff, so we'll keep on to mainline modern stuff. Not that I really know a lot about any of this. Is there?
Harley does.
There is context in the podcast chat. There's a time.
There's context in the podcast
YouTube link of the next topic, which you do have to listen to before we talk about the topic.
I'm guessing this is to do with the new horns on 37254.
This is 37254.
Right, well, I'm gonna let Harley lead this while I listen to.
I also haven't listened, so we'll get our live reactions.
So, you're gonna get our live reactions to this. What the hell?
Yes,
what is that?
What the? My God!
That again.
That was not what I was expecting, to be honest.
Now,
Why
now
does this sound so weird?
it's very distinctively not 37 horns on there.
It's very distinctively not an anything horn. Like, what the fuck was that?
No, as I said,
It's very distinctive.
it's like a mix between a southern region horn and a Deltic horn, all mixed
I
together.
was thinking that.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
sounds so.
I was definitely thinking thumper hole.
Was that just soft tones, or was
No, that's it.
Cause,
That's it.
Because that's just it was very quiet and, as I said, soft. It's just like
Yeah, they're very soft. They're very soft.
it has like a weird. I don't know how to explain it.
They
Like
sound. It
reverb
sounds
to
right.
it. I don't know.
What
That's
it
not even the
sounds
right
like is
word.
they took brand new horns and stuck them on like a 60-year-old 37 and went perfect. It's
And
fine.
maybe stuck a sock in it.
It's stuck or something. Yeah.
I think
don't-
from what I've seen a lot of platform end Facebook wibble about this,
Mm.
and I've seen people say it's just spare horns from Caroline, the inspection saloon, which has Southern Region horns, which wouldn't make any sense because Colas don't own or operate that. So
Maybe they stole them.
I've also seen people saying it's just that Colas can't get new 37 horns, so when they break, they're going to put these horns on them now.
Great.
What are these horns?
I don't know. They could just be a horn that they've bought off a manufacturer to.
Bought off
to fit.
eBay?
Yeah, they're just looking through eBay.
They just wrote standard gauge diesel horn into eBay and bought the first thing.
They could have typed a narrow gauge diesel horn because, in my opinion, it sounds like a narrow gauge.
Yeah, to be fair, they got the wrong thing. Someone scammed them on eBay.
Well, it's
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. 37254 with new horns. If anyone else has heard these horns,
Someone had listed them.
Yeah,
on
email
eBay.
us what you think.
Someone had listed them as 100% guaranteed, totally legitimate Class 37 horn on eBay, like all capitals.
No, I reckon it was
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace. It was like in capitals with
Facebook
the asterisk, like
Marketplace.
genuine PR British Rail granddad drove it.
just for
My granddad blew that horn. It's real.
horns definitely exist. That's all we know.
That's a weird horn.
But it's weird. It's very weird. If people haven't seen it,
If you're
just type in
curious, look it up. Well, actually, on the YouTube version of this, Aaron will probably edit it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do.
And then
if anyone's curious, just go on YouTube and type in 37254. You will need to find videos from within the last 2 weeks because I believe it's been out of service for 9 months. And it's just
That's all they've been doing, just fitting
Yeah,
those
yeah.
horns.
they've just been fitting. That's how long it took the horns to be shipped from Uzbekistan.
I know.
Yeah.
Actually, the horns got delayed traveling through Eastern Europe due to some unfortunate circumstances.
They certainly didn't just take that off some illegal lorry that had been seized at customs at the port.
just some random
you know,
horns they found. Customs like, oh yeah, by the way, we found these weird horns in someone's baggage. Do you want them? Yeah, we'll take them.
Speaking of 37s, the RHTT season has started, which I know is very exciting news. Everyone's so
Oh my god, I've been waiting so long. I
mean-
can't wait.
I mean, down
What?
this way, on the West of England main line, you just get an MPV. You don't get anything exciting.
I get
Uh,
73.
Is that not
which- no, that's
hellfire
not-
enough for you, Andy?
I've seen it.
Didn't Dick my butt come to Alton or something?
Yeah, that wasn't RHTT. That was
Yeah, that's
measurement
Hellfire.
train, but
But,
yeah.
Still Hellfire.
Through
That is
Taunton,
pretty
you
epic.
get top and tailed 66s. So
That's relatively interesting, I suppose.
I think near Shrewsbury they might have 56s, but 30 York has the best RHTT circuit in existence because there's 3 sets of 37s or 2 just going around all fucking day, which I think is
Hellfire.
because
So
that's
when I go to York,
yeah, exactly. That's
That's
you're guaranteed a month and a half of 37s.
Right, let's stay there for a month then. Screw
do,
it.
do they give it fresh under the canopy at York? Do they have to go through
They
the
do.
station?
They do.
Oh,
And
yes.
Beverley
Yes,
Station.
please.
Got an enclosed roof as well, and it's always full of like chavs, and all the chavs are like, "What the fuck is this?" Great to watch, if I'm being honest. I think it used to be Class 20s up that way or near that way as well, but
That
DRS
is also epic.
doesn't operate Class 20s anymore, so it's just 37s.
Provided that the 20s were actually giving some beans going through York, it would have sounded good. Otherwise, I can imagine the idle screeching being amplified by the canopy would have probably been horrible.
I mean, the 37s in themselves, the DRS owner, are an interesting story anyway, because they were all for sale recently. And
Yeah,
we
why
never
didn't we
spoke
buy
about
one?
this. DRS had a big. I mean, they've been selling off all their old stuff anyway, but they were for sale recently, all their 37s, on the provision you have to lease them back to DRS. So you can buy them, but you can't operate them yourself.
That's epic.
Well, that's just a great idea because we can stick our logo on the side of them.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
we could put Wrong Road Podcast on the side of it, and then lease it back to DRS.
Yeah, and then they have to operate trains with it.
In the end, what happened was they withdrew all the 37s they actually needed from the sale because nobody wanted to buy them and lease them back. They just wanted to buy them. So I do believe they sold one 37. It might have been 37 218. I'm not sure. And a 57. They've sold all their 57s recently. I mean, Tom and George had haulage off 2 XDRS 57s quite recently. So
Yeah, and it was
Three we had.
Yeah, we had three.
Oh, no, because
three.
yeah, we had three in that day.
They've had 313 for quite a while though. So
Because there was one that pulled.
Oh,
us-
that's true. That was the northern.
Well, one pushed us on the back, so it wasn't really
yeah, that's
haulage.
313. That's in the Northern Belt.
Well, no, we did get haulage with it. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we had haulage with it.
We had three. We had three.
But that's not recently XDRS though. They've had that for like at least 5 or 6 years, something like that. I mean, LSL just bought a DRS 57. They've immediately leased it to GBRF to push trains out of Liverpool. So there you go. That's it, guys. If you want to make money, buy an XDRS loco and lease it to someone else, or back to them for the same amount of money.
Fair enough.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
All right.
And, there's one thing left in the mainline topic.
I don't know what this is about.
The
So-
Hastings Thumper, the DEMU. I'm
Yeah.
sure which everyone knows. George, you know the Hastings.
I do. Yes.
It's a skinny. It's a
The
skinny.
mainline thumper.
Yes.
Yeah, the
The only
Mainline
mainline one, I believe.
Yeah, it is the only mainline one. It is because it's operating on Network Rail. It has had controlled emissions toilets fitted.
What?
Yeah, it's had toilet tanks fitted. That's why there's a picture in the podcast channel there, George.
Oh, is that it?
It's got toilet tanks fitted, and there is a picture of the inside, but I can't find it at the moment. But it's really cursed because you imagine a Mark 1 toilet. You know, everyone's been in a Mark 1 toilet.
Yeah.
You've got the classic handle, classic
Yeah.
toilet.
Oh, and those taps that only work if you hold them up, so you can't wash both your hands.
Yeah.
Brilliant, those. Whoever came
My
up with
favourite.
those, what the fuck?
You can also, I don't know if you know, but you can pull them up and push them down.
I did know that.
Yeah, you can for some reason.
So they had that engineering in there, but can you hold it open? No chance.
I bet we're gonna get some email in the podcast from XBR toilet engineers going to go, well, actually, if you crank it to this certain amount of degrees, it'll stay open for 20 seconds.
Well, actually, if you use a splunky spanner at precisely 7:42 p.m., you could actually open it for a minute and wash your hands with no problem.
Only if you're 17 miles and 40 chains from Bangor.
Train has to be travelling at least 54 miles per hour.
And it has to be a new moon.
The diamond belt is spinning at twice the speed of sound.
We also learned from Aaron, don't drink the tap water in a Mark 1 toilet.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
We don't know if that happened.
Very well.
We have no idea if that occurred.
I think it happened. I reckon Aaron was in there chugging a Mark 1 toilet
I was
water.
very drunk. I have no idea if
From the
that happened.
sink.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
think about it.
definitely from the
That 40C doesn't get used very much. So I mean, that water could have been in there for years.
Oh,
This was on a Mark 1.
Okay.
Yeah, before we go on the 40, it's because Aaron
No,
locked him. It's because Aaron locked himself in there for ages. We have no idea what he was doing, and Aaron has no idea what he was doing either because he doesn't remember anything from that night.
Man, if only there was a sign saying not drinking water.
If only I was sober enough to read it.
It's come out of like the rusty, mouldy tank on the side of the coach.
Anyway,
oh my god!
there's a cursed picture. It's not cursed. It's probably going to become pretty normal because I'm assuming other rail tour companies are also. I mean, I think Safos Trains have started installing their Mark Ones with toilet tanks.
And some Riviera trains as well. They put it on their Mark II.
They started with their Mark Twos. I'm assuming they'll do their Mark Ones as well, but it's going to become pretty normal. But yeah, the Hastings Thumper group have put in a push to flush button like from a modern DMU. And it's kind of weird to look at because it doesn't fit in with the surroundings at all. It's just this like BR toilet with a new toilet actually. It's like a metal. You know, get the metal.
That
like,
makes it even more cursed.
toilets. Yeah, it's one of them. It's got a lid. So you know you can't shut.
That
the
makes
lid.
it worse. This is like a BR toilet. But it's got like a modern metal tin can.
It's got a modern toilet and a push to flush button.
Does it do the like? Psst?
Probably. That's probably exactly.
Can you have that one more time?
Yeah, do that impression. Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty
Pretty close. Pretty close.
It's like I was on a Voyager.
We have to bash that toilet. We're big fans of Mark 1 toilets.
Yeah.
We always take
On the,
selfies in
Yeah,
the
we
Mark
always
1
have to
toilets.
bash the Mark 1 toilets. Of course, Aaron's going to put one of the selfies in there now.
Oh,
Obviously.
yeah, definitely.
In the YouTube version. He's going to put a Mark 1 bog selfie.
Bog selfies.
We'll put one of Harley.
Of the whole
Yeah.
clan.
It's Harley.
Tested with a Mark 1 compartment coach toilet because they're longer. Because they're quite a wide toilet. You can fit 4 people.
Oh,
in
yeah.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
And we
You
have a
should
picture
need
of
to
that
put
as well.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
I don't know where that picture is. But
I think I've got it somewhere. A picture of us proving that all 4 of us can fit in it.
it's a very long
With
toilet.
comfort, this room in there. This genuine room with four people in there.
That's pretty cursed.
You can test with 5, Tom, if you come with us next time.
You probably
Oh,
could
boy.
fit 5 people in a box.
That'll be the highlight of the gala, that'll be. No, I only want to do it if Aaron's so drunk that he doesn't know what's going on again. I need to experience that as well.
Aaron will be being sick in the toilet and chugging the water out the sink.
Yeah. That much is guaranteed.
Oh my god.
Right,
Well,
so
we've had that fantastic conversation.
that is mainline discussion complete. I'm sure everyone's happy to know. And that leaves us with heritage discussion, which is last but not least.
Indeed.
And apparently Kidderminster's got a new footbridge. Is that right?
That is right, because the old one got ripped down. I don't know what the reason was. Does anyone know what the reason was?
I haven't actually seen it.
It's just old.
You've marked ugly question mark. I'll be the judge of that. Kidderminster.
Yeah, I have a
new
photo.
footbridge. You can post that photo. Go on.
There you go. So they replaced it with a new footbridge very recently. It's just gone up. And I would like to say it's ugly.
Oh my god. It's
What
worse than I thought.
Oh no.
What in the holy shit is that?
Now, when I saw that, I didn't think it was done, but I think
That's
it's done because it's got
Yeah.
steps. So
But-
Yeah, that's
No,
done.
let's be honest. They've considered photographers because they've let you take photographs of the steps. All right, you can't take photographs of the bridge.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
this is true.
hold on though. It looks better than the old one.
Hang on, it looks like it's blocking that signal.
The old
That's
one.
just, perspective, I think, Tom.
This was the old one in 2015, and I mean, it's just a rusty piece of shit. It's exactly what I'd expect going over a dual cam.
Yes, it was very rusty.
It does look more in keeping.
That looks like the bridge that says "Happy Birthday, Gran" on the way to the Midhands.
Oh yeah.
On the A303
Yeah.
going towards the Midhands from the southwest, there's a bridge that says "Happy B-Day, Gran." It's like it's painted on.
Is the fact that that's a railway bridge, which I know 444s go over. I want to know how they graffitied it.
Yeah, I want to know how they put that on there, but it's funny. Every time I go under it, I go, "Happy birthday, Gran!"
It's not
So
like you
now
can
that
put
I've
a
said
ladder
that,
up in the
people are
middle
going to
of
be
the
out spotting that. They'll be like, "Oh, I've got to drop the A3
Yeah.
find the Happy Birthday Grand Bridge."
If you ever go into the Midhants from the southwest, look out for it.
So yeah, I think that bridge looks better than the old one.
Well, the old one looks more railway-esque, though.
I guess.
I would say it matches the scene pretty well. I mean, it's not particularly nice because it's rusty, like you said, but this one is also not painted, so
Surely they're gonna paint it, right?
uh,
It would look better if they painted it. If they painted it like GWR colours, it would probably look better.
yeah, no, that would look good. But
Why would they do that? Because it's being paid for by Network Rail.
All right, we'll paint it bright yellow.
Well, I did see someone
Yes.
suggest to paint it purple from any leftover cans from Tor Valley.
no, yes,
We'll paint it
That'll be
bright
great,
yellow.
idea.
We'll put a Network Rail logo on it, and
Perfect.
and whatever Network Rail's motto is, I've forgotten what it is now.
Going
What-
nowhere.
going nowhere.
What is it? Improving your railway, isn't it?
That's a lie. They're not doing that.
We'll put improving your railways, Network Rail on the side of the bridge and paint it bright yellow. Does that make it look better, Aaron?
Yeah, why not?
Concern is that
prefer the
it
old bridge,
should
though.
be one of these bridges that like goes naturally rusty over time. Like, because a lot of designers
It's a
do
bad
these
picture,
things.
man. It always looks like that bridge is going rusty already.
I think it is. I think that's the plan.
It probably is.
It's like Butts Bridge on the Midhands.
Yeah, when they redid Butts Bridge, never painted it.
Butts Bridge, my favourite bridge.
Yeah, mine too.
Right, well, bridge is moderately ugly. So is the old one. Seems that they don't like to put nice looking bridges in. They painted it, it
No.
would be better. But, you know.
It's true.
I think a lot of people were complaining that you can't take pictures off of it. Like that was Network Rail's main concern.
Yeah, I think that's what they were thinking when they were building it, honestly.
Network Rail were like, man, we need to make sure that boomers can take pictures of stuff on the SVR.
Yeah. They're like, the view is good from here.
Yeah, it's probably improved the sighting of that signal for the mainline connection. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there's no pillar in the way now, so that's handy.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh,
So
From that,
let us know of your thoughts of the new bridge at the Severn Valley Railway. It could have been
Oh,
started
yeah.
by emailing wrongroadpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll read it out on the podcast.
of course. Well,
what's
we might
next?
as well move on to a topic for me, which is the Midhants Autumn Gala, because I was the only one that went to it from here.
Yeah, what's that? Alright, guys, you went to it on his own.
Yeah. Actually,
No,
no, I went with my dad's.
You went to it with his dad, and his dad absolutely bashed.
Yes.
He bashed so
My dad was
hard, he pulled
ultimate
up a
basher.
chair in front of one of the windows and just
Yeah.
sit back and enjoy the show.
There was a guard.
I reckon Aaron went on his own so he could drink all the toilet water and not feel shame with no one watching.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Yeah,
He got-
that's my new thing.
Aaron now has an addiction to Mark 1 bog water.
Yeah.
He wants, to
about
do,
it.
he wants to do it on every railway.
Yeah, I want to tick them off.
Compared,
It probably tastes
compared-
different. It's like different flavours.
He has the taste of the rust volumes
Yeah,
of each Mark 1 that's preserved.
they're all different flavours. So you've got to try them all. But yeah, I went to the Midhants
dear.
Autumn Gala, which was the last. Well,
And then he'll
It
move
was-
on to the Mark 2s and the Mark 3s.
oh yeah, that's coming soon.
And
Don't
then
you
the
worry.
Mark 4s. And then the Mark 5s.
Yep. I mean, they're probably safe to drink, I assume. Right?
Doubt.
You don't make Mark 4s or Mark 5s with safe to
A
drink.
lot of the
Mark
Caledonian
5s
Super
maybe, because they're
Boys, they
sleepers.
got
but
introduced the toilets like grenaded themselves with chemicals. So
Mark 5s
Hmm.
might be safe to drink, because they're sleeper coaches, aren't they? So
There's only one way to find out, to be fair.
yeah, George, you could be on a TPE Mark 5 and they're not sleeper coaches.
yeah. Maybe it depends whether it's a sleeper or not.
Anyway. Off that discussion.
that's
Yeah.
about
Midhants Autumn Gala was the last.
That
was-
was home fleet only, which is why I didn't go.
It was meant to be the last chance to see Cheltenham before it goes out of ticket, but then they ran it the next week, and this weekend, and probably the next weekend, probably the weekend after that, because it doesn't go out of ticket until mid-November. So it was the last gala to see it, at least, which was nice. And huh?
Run out of Steam eliminations on air.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
and
great
then-
idea.
And then it's owned by the NRM, so it's dead. Rest in peace. Rest in pieces.
Yeah, it's going to join
This
the
is why I said that.
queue.
This is why I said to Aaron, where are you going to put it?
Quote,
Because
unquote,
you can't
the
just shove
queue.
it in the boiler shop with Lord Nelson, can you? Because then there's no room in the
No.
boiler shop.
It has to be stored undercover because it's owned by the NRM. And yeah, we've already got Lord Nelson, which is owned by the NRM, which is shoved in the back of the boiler shop, taking up a bunch of space. And so I don't know if it's going to stay there or what it's going to do when it goes out of ticket.
It's going in my back garden.
It'll go to the NRM.
Oh, that would look quite good, George. That would be
Yeah.
a good feature.
Yeah, I've put my gazebo over the top of it.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll just get a few gazebos, you know.
fair enough. No,
The gazebos
that's-
won't reach the floor, but I'll just kind of place them on top, and that'll protect it.
It'll blow away
Yeah.
immediately.
No,
Yeah,
I'll tie them
undercover.
down. I'll tie them down. It's fine. That's undercover, is it not?
yeah. I mean, that's probably a good idea for the mid-hands, honestly. Just get some gazebos,
But
have it in a siding somewhere, and just
Neighbours think.
yeah, I reckon what you need to do is it's BR green, so that's a good head start, and then you got to like just put Flying Scotsman nameplates on the side of it, and then the NRM will go, holy shit, what? How could we have left Flying Scotsman at the mid hands in a siding? We need to overhaul it now,
that
and then
is,
Same green, isn't it?
and then they'll overhaul it in
is
5 months,
it is literally
and then
same
it will
green.
come, and then it will come back. Then you'll just take the nameplates, the Flying Scotsman nameplates off of it, and go, "Ha, you've been bamboozled." They'll go, "No,
Yeah, haha, it's Cheltenham. And then yeah, it's got another ticket.
And then
So
you've got it for another 10 years, easy.
easy. But yeah, it was a Hopefully gala. It was a pretty good gala. I had a very Hellfire driver on 506 during the freight run. As soon as we left Alsford, just full rigged it pretty much. This was before we even hit the gradient. And then we came to the signal between Ropley and Alsford, which is the out home. And we had to stop there because we were so early. I think we were like 2 minutes early, just from the pure speed or acceleration, I should say. Not the speed. We were definitely doing 25, but
Obviously.
yeah. The pure acceleration out of Alsford meant we had to sit at this signal for 2 minutes before we could run non-stop.
If you're listening,
Yeah,
it was 25 miles an hour, no more, no less. All right?
it was 25.0 actually.
Yeah,
I looked at the speedo.
25.0 is exactly 25 miles an hour.
Sure, 506 doesn't have a speedo, but
Yeah, it was exactly.
I calculated
25
it,
miles an
so-
hour, yeah. Aaron calculated it by timing the distance between the mileposts.
exactly. Yeah. I was writing down the numbers. Yeah. So yeah, that was a
Yeah,
particularly
just-
good run. And then
Basically, OS knock with its railway timing it in chains.
exactly. And then they also had a steam crane in Steam in the yard, which was very Hellfire. But it's kind of cursed because
So is it freshy when it lifts something heavy?
here's the thing: it's more, it's freshy when it lifts stuff. Yes, when it drops stuff, it isn't. And
It's just weight, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
just-
controlled drop.
exactly. But when it lifts stuff, it is pretty freshy. Yes, but I think it's most freshy when it moves itself because it can move itself, which is
Did you notice that
Weird.
if it lifted something heavier, it was fresher?
well, I only saw it lift one thing, so I couldn't really judge that.
It'd be good to test to see how freshy you can make it by making it lift something heavy.
This is true. But I did see a good video where they shunted 506 with it, and that was freshy. They shunted 506
They
with steam
shunted
crane.
a 506.
It
What?
was yeah. Have you not seen that? I'll link the video later. But yeah, that was particularly freshy. But yeah, it's pretty cursed.
So Brake Van rides on the steam crane when?
Oh, imagine. Now that would be epic.
That would be amazing.
They also had Kilmerson.
So when are they sending the steam crane up to Medstead on 2 coaches?
That's a good point to mention, actually, that Kilmerston did a test run up to Medstead with 2 coaches, which I'm sure was Hellfire.
I haven't seen a video of it.
No, there hasn't been any videos of it, and I'm very sad about that. But
Hopefully that means that they plan on doing stuff like that on galas and stuff. I imagine they're
I
like a
believe
shuttle.
so. I think they're probably going to do shuttles with it or something, because I don't see why else they would test that. I'm pretty
That
sure they
seems pretty my lords, to be honest.
pretty sure they said they were testing the capabilities. So yeah.
That is
But yeah, that was
that's
it was a pretty good gala. Standard for 506, Cheltenham, Ibert Tank, Did I miss anything? Oh, 7F, but that broke on the Sunday, unfortunately. So
And then
there's a Class 47
my
out.
favourite loco is running at the Steam Gala Class 47.
Yes, that was the best thing there for sure.
Yeah,
But,
Class 47 is Steam, didn't you know?
Yeah. But on that note, the Standard 4 from Limitanz, right after this gala pretty much, headed to Bluebell for their gala, but they didn't do it in the normal way of loading it onto a lorry. They dragged it on the main line with a 33, which is pretty rare. I think they've only done it, as far as I know, once. Bluebell seemed to like doing it for some reason, because they did it to their Standard 5 once when the Standard 5 went to West Somerset, and they dragged it by the main line with a West Coast diesel. And they did it again with the Standard 4 from the Midhants, which was a pretty interesting sight, because it went through London. It went all the way to London and then back around, back through to East Grinstead. So yeah, it went through Clapham Junction, which is an interesting sight.
5, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So is it cheaper to transport something by rail or
No.
No.
Quite the
No.
opposite.
So I guess you have to
Way
pay
more
that by rail
expensive.
or something?
Yeah,
Way more
And-
expensive.
and West Coast, because they're doing it for you. But yeah, I
suppose
don't
it's
know
more
why.
efficient though.
I don't know why Bluebell decided to do it.
It is more efficient, I guess.
In what way?
Well, you have to load it on or off of the rails. Minimal risk of damage. It's probably faster
I would say
in
it's
some
probably
circumstance.
from the Midhants to Bluebell. It's probably about the same, I would think. But yeah, so that was an interesting move.
Well, I mean, it's probably faster if you factor in the fact that the time to load it and unload it. I mean, they can
Yeah.
just drag it onto the main line, send it on its way, and they can just go non-stop.
Exactly, but then it did have to go all the way to London, so it did take a little while. But yeah, that was interesting. But there are some rumours that the Standard 4 will not return to the Midhants.
My God.
I don't know how true that is, but
That was
the Midhants are going to be screwed if that's the case, because they'll only have 3 operational locos when the 7F goes out.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
That's still plenty, to be honest. I don't know why.
Actually, is that before the 7F goes out? They'll have 506. They'll have the Islet tank, and then the 7F. Surely they only have 3 now when Cheltenham goes out. So then they'll have 2 when the 7F goes out.
2, now you're in the shit.
Yeah, so that will be an issue. But
Hey,
we'll see
there's
what
a row
happens.
of less engines than us. That's a shocker.
Now that is rare.
Finally, we have a reason to make fun of someone else.
This is true. But
a long time.
that's all right.
Making fun of another railway? Now that's not a name I've heard in a long time.
Well, there's one more thing to cover on the list, and then I don't know if you want to talk about events, George, or the
Probably quickly cover events.
or anything. But yeah, there was something that I saw, which I thought would be funny to bring up, which was the Llangollen Railcar Gala that they did. I think it was last weekend. There was a very rare sight, which was the fact they had one of their DMUs hauling a inspection saloon, which which is hellfire, but it obviously meant they had to run round with a DMU.
It is pretty funny, but it is something that is not unheard of. I mean, DMUs ran round in service, I'm pretty sure.
You think they?
Oh yes, and they did.
They did
Do you
haul
want to
vans, didn't they?
Do you want a Hellfire BR story about DMUs running around? I can tell you.
Go on.
So, in the very late days of the Minehead branch, apparently, I've not seen. I think I have seen a picture of the track layout, but I've not seen a picture of a DMU doing this. In the very later years, it was mostly all DMU works, apart from the occasional through train from Paddington, which would be a high mech. And so I'm talking late 60s, early 70s, because obviously the Western went diesel a lot earlier than everyone else. and they had these cross-country DMUs, the Swindon-built ones. I think they were Swindon-built for quite a while. And there was apparently a job where they took a milk tanker up to Minehead, or a couple, so they had to extend the head shunt to fit a DMU at Minehead, and it used to run around the milk tanker. The entire DMU just for one milk tank. I don't know, probably didn't happen for very long, but it did happen once, I'm pretty sure.
So when are we extending the
About
head shut at Minehead and doing that now?
Yeah, you can recreate it.
Yeah, we can recreate that.
It's a good excuse to recreate it.
You're right if the DMU worked, wouldn't it?
Well, it works, just not all the engines.
Yeah, very good.
It moves. It'd be good if they finished the
Kind
paint
of.
job on it as well, but we got guys who are good at that, and it's in progress. I quite like the speed whiskers. Wasn't sure whether I'd like it, but I do like it.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
And I was gonna also just say that I know that the Great Western used to sometimes put a coach, just a collet coach, on the back of their GWR rail cars. They used to run around them. But obviously
Yeah.
that is a single rail car that used to run around, so that's not as bad as an entire DMU.
That's not as cursed, but yeah.
But they did used to do that, and then obviously they eventually then made a test experiment 3-car GWR rail car. There's only one of them, which is pretty cool. But I did hear there was absolutely tragic on fuel. I did find somewhere information on how much fuel it used, but it was ridiculous. It was
Worse than my car.
100% worse than your car. It was basically nothing. They got like it was probably something dumb like a mile to the gallon.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
But that's because it wasn't a proper DMU. They just cut the back off of 2 rail cars and put a collet coach in the middle. So
Fair enough. I mean,
that is
that's
just
one way to do it.
That's cheating.
it's pretty funny though.
No, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, because apparently everyone wants Helgen to make that, but I don't know if they will, because Helgen do sometimes make you stuff.
I'd buy it.
So
If Helgen made it, I'd buy it, because that's very funny.
I can't remember what line it was used on. I don't think it was that far from London where it went with that set.
I would
It was
100%
through Wired, wasn't it? Through
Yeah,
the
it was.
collet coach.
That would draw attention at the model railway if I pulled out a 3-car GWR rail car.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, so I wanted to discuss events and email that we got. First of all, I'll do events. I'll save the email till last. It's not a very good email for the people listening, so don't get your hopes up. So you got the Bluebell Giants of Steam, which is actually currently happening, right?
Yeah, this would be the last day.
So to be honest, there's not really much point in mentioning it, because you can't go if you're listening to this, because it's out after it's finished.
And it was just a load of BR standards anyway.
But if you did go to it, email us about it.
Yeah, if you went to it, email wrongroadpodcast@gmail.com.
Tell us about the standards.
Yes. There's the East Lancs Autumn Steam Gala, which, when's that happening? That's got to be coming up soon. And then
I think that was this weekend as well. I'm pretty sure, because I've seen loads of pictures of like Lancashire and Yorkshire logos.
Well,
This is going well.
If that was this weekend as well, then if you went to that, email wrongroadpodcast@gmail.com and tell us about it. And then there's the Gloss Walks Mixed Traffic Gala, which we are actually going to. So if you're going to that, we might see you there. We'll make sure we wear all of our Wrong Road podcast merch that we don't own.
Yes.
or exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll obviously be
One
the
day.
official presence
One
at the event.
One day we'll be able to go to galas wearing our Wrong Road podcast merch, and people will be like, "Yo, it's the lads from the Wrong Road podcast." We could only
We didn't have to man a stand. We could probably make more money if we're like travelling salesmen. Like everyone on the break van ride, we just sell them a shirt.
Yeah.
That's a
But
great
that
idea.
is all from me. That's the events, where 2 of them I think have already happened. One of them's coming up. And the email. I thought that I almost forgot. So I got an email from a guy called Rowan, who we definitely don't know.
Never heard of him.
I've never heard of this guy.
No, what a weird sounding name.
He told us that this is a Hellfire podcast, my lords.
Well, that is a good review.
That's a good review of the podcast.
Can we put that on the website somehow?
on the website in quotes, Hellfire podcast, my lords, from a listener. He also decided to email me through the Wrong Road podcast email address, telling me that the Class 33 was going to be at Crocombe soon, even though I wasn't at Crocombe. So I don't really know why he sent me that, so I just responded, but who? Obviously,
Yeah, but George,
obviously implying that I
Jen
was
is
going to ask
Jen.
him who asked, because I didn't care.
Jen is Jen, man.
Jen is Jen. But it
I was
doesn't help.
expecting you to come running out your house, George, to go see it.
Yeah, come drive 50 minutes to Crocombe to,
Yeah.
to go and see the Compton. The Compton would have gone through by the time I got there. So not really much point. It's because I signal at Crocombe. I'm going to expose that. And I was actually signaling the day before. So I don't really understand why he told me on that Sunday, even though I wasn't there that day. Nor would he have had to have told me, because I would have got the old ding ding from Bishop Lydiard. But yeah, that is.
Yeah, you would have.
That is all from me. I'm done. That's the end of the podcast. I've been George. That's been Aaron.
Hello.
That's been Harley. That's been Tom.
Hello.
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 Yeah. Hello, guys. All right. We'll see you in a couple
I'm
of
tired.
weeks.
Podcast, we're going again. I'm joking.
Yeah. We'll see you in a
Oh,
couple of
please
weeks.
no.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks with new up-to-date news about podcasts.
Yeah. That's exactly what our podcast is about. Podcasts.
Yeah, we update you on podcasts. Yeah, I'm stalling now. It's going too long. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.